Cain and Abel, the sons of Adam and Eve, grew up in a beautiful and harsh world, learning about faith, survival, and sacrifice from their parents. Though they shared the same blood, their hearts and paths vastly differed. Cain, the older brother, toiled under the sun, tending the crops he'd worked hard to grow. He looked at his younger brother, Abel, who watched over his sheep. Cain admired the sturdy crops that grew from the earth, the result of his labor. But something nagged at him, a feeling he couldn't shake when he saw Abel with his flock. One evening, Adam gathered his sons. "The Lord has blessed us in many ways," he said. "When you make an offering to him, it should come from the heart, as a sign of gratitude." Cain and Abel nodded, each preparing for their offerings to God. Cain gathered fruits and grains from his harvest, while Abel selected the finest lamb from his flock, the firstborn and best of his sheep. A quiet expectation filled the air as they laid their offerings before God. God looked upon Abel's sacrifice with favor. A warmth spread over Abel's offering as if blessed by a divine light. But when he saw Cain's offering, there was no such favor. Cain's heart sank and resentment bubbled inside him. He saw Abel's joyful expression, his brother's face filled with humility and gratitude, and it stung deeply. Cain clenched his fists and turned away. He didn't understand why Abel's offering was favored, and he wasn't. Dark thoughts clouded his mind, overshadowing the pride he'd felt in his work. Later, God spoke gently to Cain. "Why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must rule over it." But Cain's heart was already wrapped in bitterness. He turned his back on God's words, letting the jealousy take root. One day, Cain called out to Abel, "Come with me, brother, let's go to the field." Abel, trusting his older brother, followed without question. Cain's heart raced as they walked, and his mind filled with dark intentions. In a secluded spot, his anger boiled over. Cain attacked Abel, striking him down in a fit of rage, and in that moment he was left alone with the terrible weight of what he had done. Cain stared at the ground where Abel lay, his hands trembling. For a fleeting moment he felt only silence, an unbearable, empty silence. Soon after, God spoke to Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" Cain's throat tightened, and he answered, "I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?" Sorrowful yet firm, God's voice replied, "What have you done? Your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Now you are under a curse, and driven from the ground which opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood." Cain fell to his knees, overwhelmed by the weight of his actions. "My punishment is more than I can bear," he pleaded. "Today you drive me from the land, and I will be hidden from your presence. I will be a restless wanderer, and anyone who finds me may kill me." But God, in his mercy, said, "Not so. I will place a mark on you so that no one who finds you will harm you." And with that, God showed Cain forgiveness, even in the face of his terrible sin. As Cain wandered away from his family and home, he felt the pain of his choices weigh heavily upon him. His brother's face lingered in his memory, and he realized that he had given in to his darkest thoughts instead of seeking understanding and peace. Though he would bear the mark and the burden of his actions, he knew he had been spared by God's mercy. Through Cain's journey, we're reminded of the power of choices. Even in moments of jealousy and anger, there's always a chance to turn back, to choose peace and forgiveness. And though consequences may follow our actions, God's mercy is never far from those who seek it. Now, let's end with a short prayer. Lord, help us to be strong when faced with envy and anger, to remember that each choice we make brings us closer to you or further away. Fill our hearts with patience and forgiveness so we may walk in love, not bitterness. Guide us to seek understanding and compassion so that we may learn from Cain's story and make choices that honor you. Amen. Thank you for joining us on this journey of family, faith, and forgiveness. If this story touched your heart, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. What choices have helped you grow in faith? We'd love to hear your reflections. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss our next story.